Hey everybody! Alright, what a move. This has made me very happy this morning. Lots of short positions, lots of profit, lots of happiness, lots of joy. So yeah, I hope everyone else is doing okay. This has been, we have been waiting for this for what feels like a very long time. It was inevitable. We were pretty bearish. We had to be trading it because it was an uptrend, but to be honest, it was such a boring uptrend. Everything was just like completely cooked, completely overextended, completely overbought. It took a while for the short positions to see the profit that we really wanted them to see. But yeah, today is a very good day for myself. And I do think that it's probably a very good day for the vast majority of people in here. Considering that we've just been like, come on guys, you don't want to be long up here for like such a long time. So yeah, yeah, very good. So welcome everybody. Let's get some smashing of the like button. Let's get some hype in the chat. Everyone tell me how well it has today been profitable for everybody. I really do hope it has been. If it has been profitable for you, then smash the like button. If it hasn't been profitable for you, then smash the like button and make sure you're subscribed, because then maybe it will be more profitable for you in the future if you do pay attention to these videos. But yeah, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about as always on these streams, but yeah, let's get into some of the price action. And oh yeah, I've also just taken a long position, so although very, very happy with the shorts, I've literally, what did I tell, can anyone tell me yesterday, or like maybe someone who's not in the crew that doesn't already know, there's a little circled trade here, which was a short position that was taken yesterday. Does anybody remember what time that trade was taken, and what time the previous day high was put in, and what day the high over the weekend was put in, and what day like every single major pivot that we seem to get at the moment happens? There's one specific time of the day that you just, if you get a trade at that time of the day, then it is just like the easiest thing to take in the world. So yeah, I've just taken that trade. That kind of gives you a clue. It was recent. And yeah, we'll cover that in a minute. But anyway, let's see who we've got in here. Pedro, not like it wasn't expected. Make money, money, yes. Marek, yes. Crash and smash the stupid like button. Make sure you do that. Isaac, Ollie, Andre, Ivalo, Mido, Young Super, Changa, Sweeping Hawk, Elisha, Mark, Young Super, oh my god, the chat, BH, Crypto with Mark, P, Crypto with Mark, I'm using Exocharts. This is TradingView that's within Exocharts, but I am using Exocharts, so this is why I can do all of this lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. So I'll cover that in just a minute. Mark, yes. All right. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I mean, let's just cover some of the price action recently. I've got this charted on the USDT. Now, the USDT it came deeper than the USD chart earlier on did, but the trades that I have just taken, and this is the thing, look for pivots within the volatility zones that we have labeled. There are 3 opportunities per day realistically that you're likely to put in pivots. Those times are the hour before the New York Open, the hour before the London Open, the hour before the New York Open, and an hour or so before the market closes in the evening, when Luxury has his mini session, that we call it. But yeah, it's something slightly different. So I know this chart here isn't, this is the chart that I just have most charted. I'm just going to bring it over onto this because you can see this is the long position that I have just taken off of the daily level. Now the USD pair, the inverse perpetual, never came down into that daily level earlier on today. We've just had that pivot at exactly 1:30. So exactly 1 hour before the New York Open, and that is when we so often see it. If we go towards yesterday's high, the high that was put in on the day, what time was that put in? Okay, call 20 past, so 10 minutes off. Okay, so you had the high of yesterday being put in at the same time as where we potentially have a low of the day today. This is like just a massively key time to be looking to take a trade. So if anyone... a little tip for anyone, just set your alarm for like 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Wait for an SFP of whatever local level there is and just fade it the other direction. It's generally pretty nice to be able to do. So that is a long position I've just taken after I was able to take the short yesterday from here. So towards the end of the London session, the hour before you come into the New York session, and on this occasion again exactly the same. The end of the London session, 1 hour before we start the New York session, has been again a major pivot within the market. But I'm going to use this chart here as the main one that I've been charting, which is the USDT pair. Now we haven't come down and taken the lows again, okay? So what we haven't done today is taken those lows. That already came deep enough. That actually got me into a long position on the USDT pair earlier on, and then I've just taken a trade off of the inverse perpetual today. So what I basically had on the USDT pair was a short from up at the top of the channel here, taking that short position basically the whole way down, and that closed out as we came into those lows, and then I've been able to scale into a long on the USDT on this retrace back down again. So that's basically where we're at the moment. I do still have a short position open. That is the one that I took a while back. One of these, I think it was one of those like more swing ones that I had from last week and stuff. I do still have a short position open that I'm still holding, but at this stage I'm more or less closed out. It's coming into the weekend. I just generally go flat anyway during the weekend, and yeah, I posted on Twitter the ones that I've closed out of today, with a little bit of TikTok style music in the background, for nice effect, I guess. But yeah, it's like I'm very, very happy today with with the price action that we've had. So let's see how this goes. So as I say, I am in that long position. I will monitor this. I don't really want to see this taken again. I mean, we've just tapped the level itself. There's nothing. Yes, we've got a local change of market structure. Okay, so you can see here that high took the low, formed another high which took the low, formed another high which took the low, and then we've got that break of structure here. But we are going into a New York session where all markets are still looking very heavy. So I still wouldn't be surprised to see this go lower, but as a trade to get in at that point, that 1:30 kind of major time that we so often see, I think that was just a really nice one. So I'm going to leave that little dot on my chart, and yeah, we can go and just see how this goes. So each of these little areas here are just different sessions within the day. There's a short that I took yesterday, and then of course the day before that we had that short position that was taken from 24,400, which we had identified, which was at the time a VWAP close that we were looking at here. Okay, so we were looking at this VWAP close. We also had a little order block within that region, and it was an SFP of these highs. So we looked for that move up, for that to stall, to kind of be like a failed breakout type of thing, and then for a further move to the downside. Again, you take out local London highs yesterday, and then we have another drop that was initiated today. So yeah, overall being very, very good. The confluence that we have here, and this is why we've been looking at this for such a long time as well. So I'll just take this off. This, if we do. So again, I can just show, let me just pull this up on here quickly. This is the trading update sheet that I posted yesterday for everyone in the crew. So you can see here the trading update sheet that I posted yesterday, basically saying that I would expect a deeper retrace with 21,200 being the major area of confluence. And that's just, yeah, basically we had that move down today. I've been looking at that for quite a long time anyway, like massive inefficiencies within that entire region that we were expecting to get back tested at some point. So that's been a target for, I mean, you're getting on for what, 2 weeks? Almost a month. Wow. It's been almost a month since we've been waiting for this. So it's been a long time coming. It would have been nicer to see that obviously before. So yeah, for the best part of a month we've been calling for this level. But yeah, you've got the whole range point of control down there. It's now the midpoint of the range, and yeah, untapped daily level, massive inefficiencies, single prints that we were expecting to get filled. So, yeah, that's that. What else do we have in the chat? Pop Inu, could you please comment on your 19-hour 59 post yesterday? What, in crew or? What post are we talking about? I can have a look at that in a minute, yes. Who else is in here? We got Notorious POP in the house. Pedro, welcome. My knee is better, thank you. In your channel, yes. Okay, so yeah, this is, I mean, I can briefly explain this as well. If I throw on the Discord, just before we go over anything additional, I guess. So these were the posts that I was going over yesterday. I was just doing some scalping from the local range yesterday. Just like we had this local downtrend that was going on, and this was at a point where you had this internal change of structure that is not a break of structure. So although we came up towards these highs, this was not a break of structure because this high here didn't end up taking the low, meaning that all of this was internal, and I was expecting more downside. Follow that on, and then we had some more downside there. Then what I was looking for later on in the day was we had this internal structure again here, with price making a low, kind of pivoting, not taking the lows, then bouncing again. So what I was looking for was for lows to get taken and then for that to have a bounce, but that didn't actually end up playing out. So that post overall isn't, I can't even remember what we did at that point. It was kind of late in the day and I went out to eat and I kind of signed off from the charts anyway. So what we did have there was a little bit different actually. It just started to break. This was here. Okay, so we had this little bit of a downtrend here during the New York session, where you can see high, low, high, lower high, lower low, a high here that didn't take the low, therefore that being internal, and this becoming the high that was important. But eventually that came up and got broken anyway, so you did have that break of structure at that point, but that wasn't, I was looking for that to take the lows and then to get a move up to take that high, so I was never actually able to get into a trade off of this anyway. So yeah, that's why there wasn't really any follow-up on that. Oh my god, sorry, yes, the screen is Discord. Here we go. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Didn't take the lows. I was looking for this to take the lows and then to get a change of structure because that would have been a nice easy high to take, but it didn't. So it's that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Boop. There we go. That it works now, yeah. Heisenberg, are you looking of an SFP of the 20.7k level? So this is the thing on the USDT. No, not anymore, really. I'm fairly happy with where we've got to. Like, obviously, we had the USDT pair hitting the daily level, hitting the 4-hour order block, hitting the 0.5 of the range, hitting the POC, and then the USD pair front running now, because the inverse perpetual is often where the bigger money is. That's why we've had that more recent SFP of the lows. I'm not expecting this low to get taken again. Otherwise, I do think that's kind of bearish. I think I've just lost a chart. I'm so stupid. BTC USD. Bybit. Add. Let's bring it back up. Over here. There we go. So yeah, not necessarily expecting these lows to get taken again. It's already happened. What do we have on those lows? These are these equal lows from down here, right? So we do... Honestly, you would expect a bounce from that. So if this does continue to roll over... here, if this does continue to roll over, if we don't bounce from this point, if we do take out these equal lows, I would expect a bounce from that region. You've got a high volume node just down here, so that could become the POC of the whole range if we were to get a move. So if you can see how even like the distribution is between here and here, if we do come down, we take out the lows, we kind of fall below slightly, I would expect that developing POC to shift down to that point, and then you could maybe get a bounce off of that. But what we've also got is, I think that's confluence with your golden pocket. So if we go from, yeah, okay, so you'd have your 618 there as well. So yeah, certainly that is still an option, right? If this does come down, you would see that POC shift. It would take out the lows. Where I'd be looking at is 20,500. So if we do take out those 20,700 lows, I think it would go deeper. I think it would go to 20,500, and I do think we'd probably hang out there for a while. It is going into a weekend, so that would be a good opportunity for it to do that, I guess. Like, it could just grind down, right? Start to absorb within this region here, and then next week we get a bit of a pop back up, and then something along those lines maybe. So yeah, something to be aware of, something to monitor for sure. But this bounce is still going for now, so let's see where we're at. It was really interesting at the lows earlier on. I want to actually find these and show everyone. This was really, really quite cool. So as we came down into the lows, and this is going back over to this big spike down we had earlier. So this is a volume chart that you see here. Okay. And the volume that we were getting at the low was really, really nice. And you can see so clearly the change of it, like character from the whole market as we came down into those lows, from just this being just like complete just selling. You can see the trade count down at the bottom here. You can see the CVD, you can see the delta, you can see the imbalances, just selling the whole way down, just market sells. We came down into this low here, created a really nice excess at the lows, signifying that at that point, like that was kind of a completed auction at that stage, getting the bounce. And then what we saw is it made a lower low, but with making a lower low, this was probably just filling stops and liquidations and stuff at that stage, because all of this here was only like a few seconds of price action. So all of this like basically was just a few seconds going in, but you had that completed auction at the lows, then price came down, made a lower low. But you can see again here on the trade count, just all this blue in comparison to the orange, just tons of buying. So this got really, really heavily bought at the low. You can see again the delta, positive delta as we came down. So at that point, this was just being held. So the order book was just holding this completely, only for a few seconds. That's the thing. It really didn't take a very long time. But that's the amazing thing about being able to see a volume chart, is you can see exactly what happens at that point. And then we just had this, just lots and lots of buying with asks, limit orders, just holding it, just holding price, making sure that it didn't break until the moment that it was released. And then you saw that immediate just pop up and have a really good rally off of that. So really, really interesting how it came into the lows earlier on today. And actually would have been very straightforward to get into a long position if you're reading order flow. I was actually still asleep. It's just typical. It always happens when I'm asleep. I'm always like super alert during that hour before the New York Open, but I need to become a morning person because I end up missing trades in the morning far too frequently, because I just simply am not awake at the time when these like big moves in the market happen, and it so often happens like 7 a.m. in the morning UK time. But yeah, if anyone was able to get into that initial long, then actually it was quite nice. It was quite nice what we had down there. And then again, what we've seen just off of these more recent lows as well. Not so much on this recent low. I think on the inverse, this would look quite nice. So if we just move over onto the inverse perpetual. I'm obviously not... yeah, that's not going to work. I'm using a 200... volume chart, so that is not going to work. That'll be way too many candles. Let me just go over to here. It's fine, never mind. Poppini, yeah, move to a UTC plus 2 country. I mean, I could very easily move to a UTC plus 3 country, which... Actually, no, it is UTC plus 2. No, it's UTC plus 4. Because we're UTC plus 1 here, and then Dubai is 3 hours ahead. So UTC plus 4. So I'll probably be in a UTC plus 4 country soon, which would be also pretty good. Because then I can trade in the evenings, the New York session, and enjoy my mornings, coming back around midday and be there for the London Open. Which would be great. Cool. Why have we only got 40 likes? Right, I'm going to do the usual thing until we get this up to at least... We've got to get 70 likes. 78 likes. We've got to double this. We're at 39. We've got to get 78 likes. So double the likes, everybody. As we're doubling the likes, I'm going to say if there is anyone new here, then we'll go across the rest of the market and we'll start to have a look at things. That's the wrong page. If there is anybody new, then please do check out tauruscrypto.com. Okay, so it's there, up, I can't reach. But yeah, tauruscrypto.com, the text is in the top right-hand corner of your screen. And yeah, there you can find out more about our community. You can also learn more about the crew. Now, this is where if you were in the crew, you would have been reliably informed that this was very likely to happen in the first place. And the crew have traded this very, very profitably. So if you are struggling as a trader, if you want to learn kind of just new techniques in order to trade, we've got a really great team over in the crew. We've got myself, plus a bunch of coaches who are all professional traders, fantastic traders, great educators as well. And yeah, it's just a very nice place to be. We do live trading sessions more or less on a daily basis. Luxury was there this morning talking everyone through the price action as we had it before I was awake. And yeah, we've got thousands of hours of educational content and stuff as well over there. So if you are interested in that, then yeah, please do check out the crew. We also have mentoring and one-to-ones on offer. So if anyone is looking for a one-to-one session, you can book those directly on the website there. And also, if you are not doing so already, then check us out on Twitter, where you can see me shit posting stupid stuff like
toys.
Like
but
this.
baby, we bringing out toys. Tick, tick, boom. We're bringing in.
Yay. There you go. So there's my silly post from earlier. And there's Mark Zuckerberg with his $10 billion metaverse, which is absolutely stupid. Yeah. Okay. Let's everyone be nice to each other in the chat. Greg's often here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, did that? I didn't realize that the audio would come out on that. Your Twitter sharing of the stream was substandard. You need to include the thumbnail as it looked awesome. I don't know what you mean. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's go back over onto the market and we'll have a look at what we've got going on. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Let's cover some Ethereum. So it's a similar situation, right? If you go on to high time frames, Bitcoin, you've got a slight channel. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a channel going on here. We've come into the POC, we've come into the 0.5, we've come into the 4-hour order block, we've come into the daily level. Go over onto Ethereum, it's a similar situation. Like we're obviously a lot higher on Ethereum. I'm a lot more bearish on Ethereum. I think that this is going to go lower, ideally. But similar area on the chart. We've come into that point of control bit. Like it's obviously dropped lower. And that's, yeah, mainly because Bitcoin's had such a big move as well. We've got the daily level down here, we've got this weekly level down here, and we've got the low of the channel. So yeah, Ethereum is kind of similar, what we're looking at on here. We have just had the New York Open, so let's just watch that. So we have gapped down on the SPX. If I'm honest, I would expect these lows to be taken at this stage. So if we do come down, is that line thicker than usual? No, it just looks it on here. So I would expect those local lows to be taken. The fact that we've just gapped down, it would make sense to take out these lows before we do get any kind of bounce into the gap that is now above us. And if you look at the SPX, it just looks like not good. If this does start to roll over, there's a ton of stuff below, right? A tons of stuff below that I would expect to get revisited at some point. The Nasdaq, what have we got on the Nasdaq? Now that obviously broke out of its parabolic advance. At this stage, I mean, you can keep redrawing this to make it fit, but we do have a daily level down here as well and a 4-hour order block. So this has come into a 4-hour AB. We've just basically just tapped off of the top of it there before getting a bounce. On the S&P, we've come into that 702, which is also, this is the area that I drew yesterday. So I drew this on the chart during yesterday's stream. It's more of just a region. Okay, I think, was this on the 4-hour? Yeah, so you've got this 4-hour block here, which is more of just like a breaker level. one that we were looking at previously, and again we've come into that 702 region. There was a nice confluence around here. You filled in these inefficiencies, so similar to what Bitcoin has done, you just have a gap between here and here, and prices come down and just filled in all of that. So yeah, it's a decent area to bounce across all markets. With the SPX, it has just had that local. Yes, it has just had like a local break of structure here. So with that high being taken, you would expect a pullback. That would kind of make sense because that's going to come down and take out these lows in a minute. So we've taken out the highs on the futures. You're going to come down and take out the lows on here. So you'd be looking for some higher low to be formed at this stage, and then to get the continuation on futures. I mean, that looks like something it would do, right? You come down here, you get continuation higher. If we can get that. Nasdaq, I think, could take the lows, hit the daily level. QQQ has gap down. That has a little gap below us. And again, tons more lower down. Fair enough. How's Apple opened? Because I'm in a short on Apple. Hey, very nice. So my Apple short position is still going very well. I'm happy with that. I don't know if we're going to get all of this, but either way, I am short on Apple. We'll see how that goes. Euro dollar dropped below support. Good job I didn't try and trade that. USD JPY 4-hour order block. That might present another short opportunity. And the DXY into the weekly level. After coming through that little block that we had identified yesterday again here. So into the weekly now. Okay. Maybe a 786 is up there. Cool. Let's head back over onto Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. Are we going to get that alert hit? It's just not going to take the lows. It's so close, it just didn't bother. Thanks. It's 382, is it? Why is the 382 there? I don't want that one. I want it on this one. Eh? Here. 382. There we go. Not even come into the 382. Into the 333. We have our London POC at 21765. 21765. Let's just mark that on the charts. 21765 London POC. Roughly. There. Is that lining up nicely with this? 8 until now? Not quite. Our session. Got your value area low there. The main point of control is all the way up here. Brr, that's a long way up. Okay, fair enough. So I'll monitor this if there is a bounce. I don't know why. Why was it doing this? Trying to find it. It literally tells me right there. I'm so silly. Oh, and if the confluence wasn't enough already about like why we bounced, MPOC there as well, right? Time MPOC, the blue line. More confluence. If there wasn't enough already of why we've seen a bounce at the level that we've seen a bounce, there's more confluence. Go over onto here. Oh look, it's another MPOC. There's more confluence. It's just such a clear level. Why we've had this bounce from here today. Rohit wrecked $650 yesterday on Ape. Going long. Nice. I mean, I'm pretty sure I looked at Ape during yesterday's stream and I said it looked like shit. There we go. Okay, cool. We're taking the lows. So probably get a bounce now. Let's have a look at Ape. I'm sure I looked at this yesterday. Because that's where I was looking for it to go, right? And I was saying it just looked terrible. I don't know why you would long it. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember what I was going over yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, low's taken. Bit of a bounce. Bit of a bounce, bit of a bounce, maybe. Oh, I didn't. I did chart it. I don't know if I charted it during the stream. My apologies. Pedro, what are you using to trade Forex? I have MT4, which was pretty good about a year ago. So, yeah, I've got... I hate MT4. I think it's disgusting to trade off of. But I've got a broker that's active on CTrader, and I also trade it on PrimeXBT. So if anyone... PrimeXBT is what I probably recommend if you're used to crypto and you like the whole crypto ecosystem. You can trade Forex, you can trade indexes, you can trade commodities on PrimeXBT. We do have a referral link available for that, and that would give you 25% off of fees, and it would also give you a 7% bonus on your deposit, a 7% tradable bonus on your deposit. So again, there is an announcement on our Discord for that. So if anyone is interested in trading the indexes, the commodities and Forex whilst using a crypto star exchange and using crypto as collateral, so you can use USDT as collateral for that, PrimeXBT is a really, really nice one for it. So the link is, I'll just post the link into the chat here. If you use that link and you sign up and you use the following code, so you use Taurus, which will get you a 7% deposit bonus that you can use to trade, and then Taurus 25, which will get you 25% off of fees. We are also going to be offering, we're also going to be doing a $1,000 giveaway for people who have signed up on that. So it's a nice exchange. And if you're used to crypto and you want to trade that stuff, then I would definitely recommend that to be one that you can use. So Bitcoin now, with this little break of structure that we've had, I'm going to go off of this and let's just see where we're coming into. You want to be coming into the 382, and at this point Gone a little bit deeper than that. Just keep these fibs on. You don't really want to see, if we're going to make a higher low here, you don't really want to see, I mean, certainly don't want to see it going below about 21,300. Here seems reasonable in order to get a bit of a bounce going on. This seems like a decent enough area for it to do that. We've seen a big shoot up in open interest on FTX, which was the same that got unloaded earlier during the big dump. And then FTX has not taken the lows. So this is interesting. Again, I always pay attention to what FTX are doing when we've had these big moves. We've seen quite a major increase in open interest on negative delta. So you would imagine that this was short positions closing out at this stage and now long positions opening. It doesn't look to me like, because that's, yeah, negative delta going into that price holding. Spot have been buying this up nicely, haven't they? Look at that. Cool. The value area low of the current range has shifted down. Which current range would that be? Well, this one? I always do that. Why do I always click the wrong button? I always click anchored VWAP when I want to get a fixed range, and I always click the fixed range when I want to get an anchored VWAP. This is probably going to turn into the POC in a minute, actually. Let's see if this is consistent on the USDT pair. If we do stay down here, this is likely going to turn into the point of control. It already is on the USDT. So you would have had a developing POC that would have been up higher just a moment ago. If we just shift this over here, you can see it's literally just moved. So at this point, you would expect price to start to repel away from that. You don't want to be hanging around the POC for too long. Let's just see. This is going to shift down here fairly soon, you would imagine, on the inverse perpetual as well. And then, of course, you'll get the value area that will shift with that. But it has done so already on the USDT pair. And I'm probably guessing on spot that this has done the same. Yeah, so you've just had that POC shift on spot as well on Coinbase. So this is probably where you want to be making a higher low. Now that you've had that local change of market structure with this getting broken. So there's your market structure break at that point. There's your first higher high, with this one being the high that takes the low. Now you've got a higher high, and how you want to be coming in making a higher low, and then you want to be forming a little bit of an uptrend off of this. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I just have them right next to each other. So I just clicked the wrong one. They don't even look similar. Like an anchored VWAP and a fixed range, they look completely different. They're silly. Also, Tom, welcome. I always end up saying this to someone during the stream because I am generally terrible with messages. But thank you very much for the message. I will respond later on Discord. But yeah, thanks for joining the stream, Tom. Tom's dinner, everybody. Yeah, Tom's diner. Pedro, thoughts on this Twitter post? It can take up to a year for the BTC 200-day moving average to level out. Golden Cross is a rising 50-day moving average crossing a rising 200-day moving average. I thought you may have had a few drinks, Tom. That's what it's all about. So this is your 200-day MA, right? Yeah, I'd imagine at some point we're going to come up and we're going to meet that, and there will be a like plateauing of this before we go on to any other run. You kind of see it from this, right? Are we at this stage, or are we down here looking at another major collapse? I don't know, but yeah, it would make sense. It's a moving average, so it's just going to curve along with what price is doing anyway. So do, 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 do. Need to have this extending. There we go. This is so going to turn into the POC. Or dumpy. It wasn't much of a bounce, was it, from that low? Nasdaq's hit the daily. Okay, so we've gone below that daily level, and we're actually into support here on the Nasdaq as well. So that's interesting. You've got 4-hour lows just down here. So you'd say this is pretty important. This is, yeah, really important support on the Nasdaq, because below this you've got another. I mean, you're not even halfway there, like in terms of a down move, because I think you've got another 2-3% further down on the Nasdaq if this doesn't hold as support, and from the highs we're down 3% already, so you're like halfway through the move. So if this does continue, even just down here, which is like the next support zone, then that is just going to be brutal for the market, and that's only the start of it, right? That's only the start. Like, at that point you're looking at this as being like a this is something I was saying yesterday, what you're likely to see across the markets, it is some kind of big macro. That's the other thing I always do. I always do the text thing when I want to do that. But yeah, some big kind of head and shoulders that could send us all the way back down into that POC down here. So yeah, I've been bearish on the market for a while, and it is starting to play out now. So yay. Young Super, what's the stop loss on the long? Also, BH, where do you place the stop loss on this long? Let's have a look. I mean, realistically, I don't really want to see it be going below. Bro. I mean, break even. Like, I don't really want to see this taking out these lows. At this stage, this should be making a higher low and getting continuation within this kind of region here. There's nothing to suggest that that won't happen still, so yeah, I kind of said it a minute ago. If you lose 21,300, I'll probably just close out of that. I'll take that tiny bit of profit that I have, and I'll just continue to monitor it. I don't really want to be holding this down into a loss, because the market in general just looks kind of bad, right? I think we're okay here. It's just, we've just got that correlation now. SPX is just not yet taken local lows. Where are we? It's a similar situation for the S&P as well, remember? Like if, I mean, even now this looks like a head and shoulders at the top, right? There's your left shoulder, there's your head, there's your right shoulder. Down we go, lose the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, get a bit of a bounce and collapse. And then we form a bigger one lower down. Like, it's kind of a meme, like they're meme patterns, but it's just, at the end of the day, that's only market structure. So, yeah. Head and shoulders patterns are just changes in market structure. You go from an uptrend to a downtrend, it creates a head and shoulders. But sometimes you have little fakey outy ones, like you have back here that go bing, and then they continue. But sometimes you have like proper ones, like here, and they go beep, 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 yay. So you're okay with that. The 1 minute 200 EMA. Or SMA, whatever it is. Makes sense. Okay, so that's why we're a little bit heavy again. There's not a lot down here. It's kind of an even profile down here as well. Yeah. Wait, where are we at on this whole thing? I'm just playing around at the moment. So although this isn't showing on the CVD, we actually have negative delta coming into these lows. So we do have bullish divergence going on. It's just not really showing it here. No, it is showing it. So we do have bullish CVD, and that is still in comparison to the low. But the USD pair took out the lows, so I don't really think that's relevant. Okay, ignore that. Whatever. Let's just see if it can bounce anyway. You want to see a bounce here. You want to see some kind of absorption anyway. It's still the ask side that's stacking here. So you can see every time that price is moving up at market, so we're getting market buyers coming in, and this is just like right now. But overall, it is kind of there on the ask side that's still just holding this down. Okay. It doesn't look very strong, does it? I think it's the other markets that look weak, so they're just dragging Bitcoin down with it at this point. That's daily lows taken on the S&P. After taking out those highs. Okay. It's not a beer, it's a water bottle. The beer will be later on. It is a Friday. And actually, I think on that note, I probably will wrap things up because we're not really getting a lot of price action now. I think I've covered the markets adequately enough, I hope, for everyone. Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it goes down here. It looks kind of nasty. You'd have to say I wouldn't be surprised to see a move up towards around about that 21,720 to 21,760 region at some point during this session. So I do think that this region here, if there can be a little bit of relief from the rest of the market. So 21.7, yeah, that's your London POC. So this kind of region here, you also have that London VWAP, your VWAP from the London session coming in around there, or the VWAP close, sorry. Here. Yeah, see how it goes. DXY isn't stopping. It's okay. Where's this? So I mean, if we're headed for another like big, like above this level, you've not really got a lot to stop the DXY making new highs. And I mean, ultimately, like, you'd be looking up here anyway. I just thought we might get a bit more of a pullback. But you've got that like 116.40, that yearly level from like way back in 2002. Which could be an interesting one. Tell us a joke, boss man. Bitcoin to 100k. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I don't really think there's anything else that I want to talk about. So, yeah, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Again, if you haven't already done so, then please do hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. It would mean a lot. We still need many more subscribers on here. And if you are interested in the crew and you want to be trading alongside us, like as I say, we trade this every single day. More often than not, we get it right and we trade things profitably. Obviously not all the time. I'm not going to pretend that we're perfect, but more often than not, we're pretty much spot on with what we want to see happen. yeah, so if you're interested in that, then please do consider it. If you go over onto tauruscrypto.com over here, then yeah, you can click the little contact us button that's down here, okay, and that brings up a little chat, and then you can talk to a member of staff if you're interested in learning a little bit more about our community. But on that note, yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy your evening. I hope you made profit, because I mean, we've been waiting for this down move for a while, and yeah, I will catch you all next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.